Gettysburg took place on July 1st through the 3rd of the year 1863. I myself have been to Gettysburg several times, through the small town of Gettysburg to the battlefield. I've seen where Lincoln stayed at the Gettysburg Hotel. I visit with my dad, who is a huge fanatic of the American Civil War, and so am I. The North at Gettysburg had 82,000 troops, and the Confederates had 75,000 troops. The first day battle happened and ended up being a Confederate victory the first day, since Union General Reynolds was shot in the neck and died. And I've been to where this happened. There is a monument where he died. The Union retreated through the town of Gettysburg, then formed a defense line on the second day, where fighting happened on Cemetery Hill and Culp's Hill, and a hill called Little Round Top. The 20th Maine Regiment, led by Joshua Chamberlain, held a position known as Little Round Top. It's a hill covered with large boulder rocks. Chamberlain was ordered to countercharge down the Little Round Top slopes when running out of ammo. They were successful at driving the Confederates back and helped win the battle and probably the war. Joshua Chamberlain, I've learned a lot about the 20th Maine Colonel Joshua Chamberlain from going directly to Little Round Top myself, where he was ordered to defend with his regiment. Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain was born on September 8, 1828. He was an American college professor. Before the Battle of Gettysburg, and at the Battle of Gettysburg, he was a lieutenant colonel. On July 2nd, 1863, he held off Alabama infantry regiments from the south as they attacked up the slopes of Little Round Top. Chamberlain was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions 30 years later after the battle. Culp's Hill was also a major factor in the battle. It almost looks over Cemetery Hill from the view on Culp's Hill. I believe if Stonewall Jackson were alive at Gettysburg, he would have taken Culp's Hill and won the battle because of its close proximity to Cemetery Hill. A huge Confederate artillery barrage on the third day. A huge Confederate artillery barrage for hours of hundreds of cannons lasted a couple hours. I've been to the Confederate side and the Union side of Pickett's charge, which happened by the third day. It was a Confederate charge led by almost 14,000 Virginians soldiers, but ended up failing and the rebels retreated, and Gettysburg was won by the Union General Meade. A little bit about James Longstreet. Longstreet, after graduating from West Point, served in the United States Army during the Mexican-American War. Longstreet made significant contributions to Confederate victories, primarily in the Eastern Theater. He became a major general and basically was against Robert E. Lee's plans to attack on the third day of Gettysburg, and attacked anyway and lost a good portion of his troops at Pickett's charge and lost the battle. In conclusion, the Civil War interests me into reading many books about battles. Most of them I visit on vacation, such as Antietam, Winchester, Shiloh, and of course Gettysburg. I would personally recommend visiting Gettysburg at least once. It offers a cute, very historical town with shops and great food. Shops offering today Gettysburg souvenirs and shirts, even glass cases of artifacts found on the battlefield, like shot bullets. Certain old buildings are still covered in bullet holes, a true history behind the Battle of Gettysburg. Beautiful mountains on the horizon from elevated views like Little Round Top offer very scenic photographs. It seems many school field trips go to D.C., Washington, D.C., and all the political figures' headquarters, but Gettysburg seems to me to be where the actual historical action happened from great leaders like Abraham Lincoln, who visited there after the battle to give his Gettysburg address. To me, Gettysburg is a well-preserved town offering a very nice museum if you want to learn more about the battle, and it is next to the battlefield. Monuments and cannons mark the fields of Gettysburg, specifically laying out where Confederate and Union regiments were positioned. Also, some dioramas were made out of miniature soldiers to give a picture of the battle, and they're found mostly in the small town of Gettysburg in the downtown.